battle of wills between the US and China. The assumption is, from our side, that it's going to be us. And that assumption is based on the fact that the West has more power, that the United States is preponderant across that whole range of varieties of national power that I mentioned before, that it is the new Rome, and also that the United States and its allies have more will, that we're more determined to preserve the order than the Chinese are to overturn it. And that's what I want to contest. I think both of those are wrong. It's much, much harder to deter China from testing the United States over Taiwan than I think we understand. And it's much, much harder to win the war if we fail to deter them. And that means it is much, much harder for the United States to preserve its primacy in East Asia as the foundation for the Asian order. And the reason for that is really fundamental. And of course, at one level we all know it, but I think one of the challenges we all face is that we've all been living with the rise of China for so long that we've stopped focusing on what a remarkable thing it is. The Australian government a few months ago published several times it's published its own estimates of the raw economics, and the most recent of them was published just a couple of months ago in a rather obscure publication by DFAT, which didn't get any publicity, but it included Treasury estimates, our Treasury's estimates, of the relative size of the Chinese and the American economies in purchasing power parity terms, which is the more relevant measure for strategic purposes, between the US and China today and in 2035. Today, China's economy, according to these estimates, is 19% of global GDP and America's is 16%. 19 to 16. But that's not the scary bit. The scary bit is in 2035, which is the day after tomorrow, they're estimating that China's economy will be 24% of global GDP and America's will be 14%. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of find that impossible to imagine. We sort of grow up with the idea that America is almost by definition the largest economy in the world. Well, it just isn't. And not by miles. It's not just the Chinese are snuck ahead by half a metre. And these are sophisticated calculations. They're not making any sort of dumb straight line extrapolations. It takes into account the demographic challenges, for example.